All right, it is the holidays, which means lots of shopping. It also means this is a perfect time for cyber theft and cyber criminals to perpetrate all kinds of fun stuff. For Tech Republic, I'm Dan Patterson with Kyle Wilhoit. He is a senior security researcher at Domain Tools. Kyle, thanks a lot for your time today. So more and more shopping, it seems almost obvious to say this, is done online now. What can businesses do to protect consumers from cyber theft and criminals during the holiday season?
Yeah, first, thanks for having me, Dan. I appreciate you having me on again to discuss some of these really important topics. Realistically, from a business perspective, there are several things that they really need to be concerned with to help secure their actual customers. And the first is realistically making sure that there's phishing awareness from the organization to their customers. And what I mean is make sure that the organization relays to their customers that their organization isn't going to be sending out specific emails, asking for account information or passwords, things like that. Because ultimately, what's happening is cyber criminals are preying on the actual customer, primarily because, again, it's the holiday season. They know that they can go after them, etc. So realistically, from my perspective, it's making sure that the organization is ensuring that individuals or customers know that phishing emails are probably going to come out and what consumers need to be aware of from those phishing emails. So I think a lot of it really comes down to awareness outside of all the traditional security things that organizations need to do, firewalls, et cetera.
And what about data protection internally? What can companies do to make sure that customer records are safe and secure?
Yeah, that's actually a great question and something that obviously we're all getting affected with on a daily basis. Realistically, the first thing is that organizations need to have a policy in place on how they're going to store customer information. And what that means is that data going to be encrypted at rest, meaning when those data pieces are stored, might be credit card numbers, etc. How is that data being stored? Should it be stored encrypted? Where is it being stored? Meaning, is it logically disconnected from the rest of the network? As well as how is that data going to be handled? Meaning, how many people in that organization have access to that data? So that's the first question. Realistically, the second piece is how are they going to secure that data in transit? Meaning when the consumer or the customer is entering information on the business website, how is that data being encrypted and how is that being handled? And both of those things need to be approached by organizations because, as you mentioned, this is a huge shopping season. This is a huge area for cyber criminals to really leverage, especially during this time of year.
And finally, everyone at a business is also a consumer. So what can consumers do to make sure that they are safe and most importantly, unafraid this holiday season?
Awesome question. So realistically, it kind of goes back to one of my first statements about phishing. Making sure that whenever a user is receiving emails, that they understand that the email is legitimate. Because oftentimes, phishing campaigns are carried out by email spoofing, and ultimately the attacker is looking for credentials for websites. So if users are aware of what websites are available, if they're aware of what emails they're receiving are valid or not, that's going to go a long way in making sure that a person's data security is held at the highest procedure.